past couple of years, I've gotten a lot of questions about how to set up your bike for extreme enduro and enduro cross. Believe it or not, those two disciplines do require a little bit of a different setup. In my opinion, the ultimate setup is to have a 2-stroke for extreme enduro and then a 4-stroke for enduro cross. I have just picked up this 2018 300XCW from KTM of North Texas with the help of Todd Tarver and Bert Reynolds, and also Ty Howard from KTM. And I'm going to take you along in putting on all the parts that you need for an extreme enduro setup, getting ready for the Rev Limiter Extreme Enduro. Now, why did I go with the XCW instead of the XC? The XCW has PDS, which I just think is a better setup for this type of riding. That's just my opinion. A lot of people prefer the linkage, and the 300XC has air forks, so that's also a difference. The XCW has the Explore forks, which are definitely a different setup, but they're very plush. I probably wouldn't recommend that you get a brand new bike and first thing you do on it is an extreme enduro. This bike is going to go through hell, and me with it. By far the most difficult task of an extreme enduro is keeping your bike in one piece, and the parts that you choose to put on your bike are a big part of making that happen. Starting from the top of the bike, I have ARC Unbreakable Levers, which are a must for this type of race in my opinion. They're made out of Memlon, is a material it's almost a really stiff rubber type of material that they can bend, but they'll basically come back to where they were, and it's almost impossible to break them. I've never broken one personally in racing 3 years of enduro cross. Moving down to the radiators, we have the TrailTech radiator braces and the radiator fan. You will overheat your bike in an extreme enduro, or I would count on it at least. There's just so many bottlenecks and a lot of burnouts, and your bike's gonna overheat. I have mine set to come on at 170 degrees. This TrailTech has a little digital thermometer on there, and you could probably set it to come on a little bit hotter, maybe like 190 or 200 if you wanted to. I had mine just really set conservatively at 170, and the braces are very strong and very burly as well. Next up is the exhaust. We've got the FMF gnarly pipe and the PowerCore 2 silencer, a great combo for low-end power that you want in an extreme enduro. It's still tractable and smooth, and the gnarly pipe is also very strong, so that helps as well. I choose not to run a pipe guard personally. I've had issues with them in the past with overheating and causing the pipe to split, so I choose to just run the pipe by itself. One of the brands you'll get to know really well if you're building an extreme enduro machine is TM Design Works. They make excellent skid plates, disc guards, caliper guards, chain guides, you name it. Their protection is top notch. Next up, I have the Fastway foot pegs on this bike. They're a little bit wider than stock for my big feet, and they're also much stronger than stock. The stock KTM foot pegs are just not built for extreme types of riding, so I would definitely recommend upgrading to some tougher ones like these. I also have the Torque One Designs brake lever and shifter, which again, just upgrading to a little bit more durable components than stock. Possibly the most important performance aspect of an extreme enduro bike is the tires. I would highly, highly recommend that you get a gummy tire like the Kenda Ibex. Kenda makes an excellent gummy tire. I also run the tubeless system, so I can run like even down to like 6 pounds in the rear tire. I've heard of people running less. I don't like to go lower than that. At the Rev Limiter, I ran about 8 pounds just to be on the safe side, and the tire hooks up incredibly well. As for suspension, I ran the stock XCW setup for the Rev Limiter. I did go up a couple clicks on the forks because I'm a bigger guy. I could have used a revalve, definitely from Factory Connection. I actually have some cone valves getting revalved from them right now for the Touring series and for Enduro Cross coming up. But I think the stock setup will do you just fine. The key for me is being comfortable and having a plush setup that's going to track consistently. Another huge performance advantage for me is the Rekluse Radius clutch. I can't recommend these things highly enough. They've come a long way in the past couple of years. The Radius is a new product over the last year or so. I have mine adjusted to work just as well as a normal clutch. It engages the same. I use it just as much as I would a normal clutch. I've now got my bike all prettied up with some new Acherbys Flow orange plastics and some graphics from SLM at KTM of North Texas. It looks great. So those are the mods that you need to make to your bike if you're looking to get into extreme enduros. I know the extreme enduro scene is blowing up right now all across the world, so get these parts, put them on your bike, go race an extreme enduro, and then tell me how you did. Tell me if my recommendations worked for you. If not, give me your own recommendations. I'd love to hear from you guys. So I didn't quite have the Rev Limiter experience that I was looking for. I had a good qualifying lap on Saturday despite some small mistakes at the end. I qualified 34th overall out of a really stacked field. On Sunday, I was on row 7. I pulled the whole shot, not that that really matters, but then 2 miles in, I went over the bars on a downhill and just mangled myself. It was kind of a stair-step, rocky downhill, and I just tucked the front end in a hole and got tackled by my bike, the whole deal. Messed up my hands, messed up my bike, tried to keep going, and I really did think that I had broken my right hand. Turns out I didn't, thankfully. I just had some really sore hands for a couple months, and now they're almost back to normal. And I decided to pull off after the second bottleneck, just because I really did think it was broken. But the bike worked well, that's the key. Thanks for watching this, guys. Let us know how it goes if you do happen to race an extreme enduro. Looking forward to getting some feedback, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.